Hey guys, it's Skal. Welcome back to Skal Plays Minecraft. What the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Seriously, seriously, have you been paying attention the last couple of days? Have you been paying attention? Holy shit. Holy shit. The thing is, I could talk about numbers right now. You know, I could talk about the new viewers and the subscribers and the performance that my channel is currently achieving, but it doesn't matter because I feel like by the time I post this video, it's going to have changed again. I'm in this terrible habit right now, which is so bad, where I just keep checking my phone every like half an hour to an hour and just seeing that little subscriber number go up, and it gives me so much serotonin. It's wild. You guys have cured my depression. No, that's going too far. So what are we doing today? I've decided I'm going to try and start tackling my to-do list in this game, much in the same way that I do my to-do list in real life. I typically start my day by just writing a list of things to do throughout the day, and that's how I get anything done. We do need to start work on the iron farm. I mentioned this in the last episode. We already designed the iron farm in episode 3, so I'm going to be getting on with that. I also mentioned about exploring to the east, so we're going to use the Axis Silver Burst engine to go in a new direction that we haven't actually explored before. And I also want to do a little bit of wither skeleton farming because I want to get myself another beacon or two for the new base. On top of that, we do also need some more shulker shells as well, because I've used up pretty much all of those with the new potion factory that we made last episode. Of the 9 different potions that I want to be making quite regularly, I've only really figured out 3 of these so far. We have infested potions, which are super easy to make. They're just stone. We have wind charged, which are pretty good as well. They're just, you know, is it breeze? Blizz? I forget what's the rod called. Oh shit, I don't know what the... I don't care. And we also have speed potions as well. So we have 6 different potions on here that we haven't actually gotten the materials for yet, at least not in bulk anyway. So we'll probably get to that in the future. But if I think about it, all the different materials that we need to fill this factory out, we probably need to make at least a dozen farms, you know, just to get this all working nicely. But we can come back to that in the future. It's just a big and ongoing project to make sure that this thing is working nicely. I mentioned in the last episode that light maps are broken in Polytone right now. That's not entirely false. It looks like Guns and Chips is coming for me, but that's going to wait for a second. If we turn the resource pack off for a second, the light maps fix. Hooray. And then we can also turn the resource pack back on, and they stay fixed. Hooray, look at that. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Yeah! I think I love the idea of the new base and the potential that it has, but it's just really not there yet. I don't have a bed there. It's completely exposed. It just gets swarmed with zombies and skeletons every single night. So I'm probably just going to keep, you know, coming back to the old base for now, but we'll get something more permanent set up quite soon. I could never sleep with something that loud. I really just couldn't. So, the iron farm. God, I can't hear myself think right now. I can turn this down in post, so I'll do that, but it's still annoying. Why is it still dark? Wait, what? Wait, what? At least the music's fitting, I guess. Because that's really cursed. Wait, what? Does it work both ways? Is it just, do light maps just not flip over? Oh my god, they just don't change. They just don't adjust with the day-night cycle anymore. That's so bizarre. Huh. And here we are in the wonderful test world. If you couldn't tell, I am actually playing on 1.21.8 now. I've been working on upgrading Calesti to the most recent version of Minecraft, especially since Fabulously Optimized is now up to date for 1.21.8. So we have this weird depth fog, which it took me a little while to get used to how this looks. I did adjust it as well. I don't know if it's in vanilla, but there are some settings in Fabulously Optimized to adjust the fog. You can just make it start further away, end further away. I think my iteration of it looks pretty good. You only really see it in the very distance, and even then you can still see pretty much everything up until it gets consumed by the, you know, the classic horizon fog, as you can see there. But yeah, anyway, we're not here to talk about Fabulously Optimized or 1.21.8 or fog. We're here to talk about iron farms. So in episode 3, I designed this iron farm. I started out with this very bare idea of, you know, these giant... I think they're the widest possible portals that you can have. And the idea was to squeeze as many of these into a smaller space as possible so that we could get the maximum rates from the farm. I experimented with the idea of moving the zombie back and forth, so we would need to minimize the amount of zombies we'd need to catch, but it was just really slow, so no. And then I ended up settling on this design, which, as you can see here, is not really that good. So in order to minimize the number of zombies that we would need to catch for the farm, I decided to lay them out like this. So we have 3 of them here in between 2 cells, and then 2 of them on this side in between these 3. Unfortunately, if the iron golem spawns on the very edge of the platform, this is just kind of what I'm assuming based on what's happened here, he's able to walk off the edge without getting consumed by either of the portals either side and kill the zombie. The good news is this single flaw has been very easily resolved in the final iteration of the farm, which now has a total of 27 villagers and 6 zombies. So we're going to be building this one instead. Okay, so I got my stick. I'm going to go to load. Wait, what? Hello? Is that because I'm in survival mode? Schematic placement. Okay. M. Yeah. I still don't really know how to use this thing, to be honest. Load. There it is. I do want to have this be a floating island, just like the Axis Silverburst engine, but we will need to be a little bit careful with where we place this one because it needs to be within range of where we're going to be standing and just chilling most of the time, otherwise it will not be working. So I do need to figure out how far the distance is for iron farms to be active. So I'm back in Unmined to figure out where exactly we can place this thing, and from what I can find online, apparently these farms will work up to 128 blocks away, so as long as it's within about 8 chunks of the player, then we should be okay. So if each of these chunks is 16 blocks in width, then we can count the 128 block radius by simply highlighting 8 of these chunks. And then I can take this line and use it to draw a circle from where I'm currently stood. This isn't going to be the place that I'm usually stood, but let's see. Can I do like a... Yeah, there we go. I knew that was an option. So we have a circle like that. Yeah, there you go. So if I'm stood right there, iron farms are going to operate in this entire area. So as long as the farm is within the valley, you know, in between the Cherry Grove and Savannah and that other sort of like hill, what is that biome? I don't even know. But as long as it's within, you know, this like valley section that we've sort of started to set up in here, then I don't think it should be that big of a deal. Can I move it upwards a bit? Yeah, I don't know what height to put it at, because I know the radius also applies to height as well. So this is probably okay. I'm going to end up having a few of these like floating island style structures around the place, so I want to have a variety of heights for them. Obviously the Axis Silverburst engine needed to go ridiculously high up because of the fact that we would crash into surrounding objects, but this one can remain pretty low down, which is actually beneficial in terms of it functioning while I'm around and not being in the way of other things. So I'm thinking that maybe about here would be okay. I want to see what this is directly above though, because we are going to have spawning issues when this is constructed, because it is really just a big flat plane, so anything underneath it's going to be dark. So immediately this is just not going to go here, is it? Because this is where the factory is. So that's probably not for the best. What we could do is put it like behind the factory like this, and then just have a lake underneath it. That would work, right? We could have like a waterfall coming down here and then a lake. And that's still within range of like the central area that we're going to be stood, I'm pretty sure. Although I'm going to actually just bring it down and maybe over that way a bit, just to make sure it's within range. I think that would probably do fine, actually, yeah. So how are we going to go about building this thing? Well, I've actually already made some preparations for it. I have a shulker box right here with 27 white beds, which is exactly what we need for the structure. Obviously, I built this with red beds in creative mode because I'm not very good at planning, but we won't be using dye. We'll just be using white beds for the project because it really doesn't matter. I've also got a shulker box full of obsidian, so that's not a problem at all. I've been mining away in the end, taking down some of those towers so we can get as much obsidian as possible, because I do want to build this and also an overworld-based gold farm at some point in the future as well, which is what this is primarily for. One of the main struggles that we're likely going to face then is just simply getting all of the entities that are required into the machine. So we need 27 villagers and 6 zombies. Obviously, getting the name tags for those zombies is not an issue. We can just get a villager. Or do I have a crafting recipe for name tags in Artibus? I forget, because we are playing with Artibus, right? Is there a recipe for a name tag? Nope, I removed it. Okay, don't even know my own pack. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right, so we have the platform placed. It's going to make it a little bit easier to build the bottom segments here and also set up for getting the mobs in. I need 432 obsidian, or 6 stacks of 64 and 48. 417 of a building block, which is just going to be stone bricks. 291 smooth stone slabs. It's that high because the portals have to be kind of topped off with smooth stone slabs. We also need a lot of glass, 84 red beds. We've already got the beds, and 6 soul sand. Alright, so I've made quite a bit of progress here with the iron farm. If I go ahead and turn the placement of the structure off, you can see what I've already got built. So I've got all the chambers set up for the zombie cells, where they're going to be held, bobbing up and down for the villagers next to them. I've also got the beds placed down for where the villagers are going to go, and I have a pretty smart idea of how the villagers are going to get themselves up in here. So we already have a villager breeder over at the other base. I was planning originally on boating them over individually, which is probably going to take a while, but it's fine. But I was going to bring them over to this portal right here. However, this farm is going to need a portal in the nether as well for the output of the iron golems. So why don't we place a portal down here initially and use it to bring the villagers over? Then all I really have to do is just kind of leave the villagers on this platform. They'll be pretty safe here from what I understand about pathing. I don't think they'll nudge themselves off unless they like shunt into each other, but hopefully they just won't do that. Maybe I'll just put up a wall to make sure they don't die. Okay, well, they're probably going to struggle to kill themselves at this point because I've pretty much baby-proofed the entire farm. So anywhere they can walk, there's just a big old dirt wall in their face so they can't dive off and enjoy freedom. So I'll get the villagers over here, and then we'll leave them here at nighttime, and they should just put themselves where they need to go. After that, all we need to really do at that point is just simply get some zombies over here as well, which we kind of just need the name tags for. So that's -697 by 3305. Lovely. Shouldn't you, like, taste really good right now? This is the main portal to the entrance of our base, and this is the portal that leads to the iron farm. Or at least I think it is. I just built it. Let's see if it actually works. Yep. And is it going to work if I go back through? Yes. I wonder what life is like for these guys, because they're kind of living in paradise right now, you know? That must be pretty chill. Does that look wrong? That looks wrong. What version of Celestia am I on? Update 46. What? I thought it was more detailed now. Oh, it's farmland. It's farmland. Right, okay. Yeah, we haven't done farmland yet. I've gone ahead and set up a rail which extends all the way from the villager breeder to the portal that we have set up accessing the nether, and I've also set up a little cage around the portal as well so we can easily transfer the villagers from the minecarts to a boat without any big difficulties. Really now all I have to do is just wait for these guys to get busy and produce 27 villagers, which I have no idea how long that's going to take. Looks like we already have 2 villagers, which is pretty good. I just have to wait for these guys to grow up and then they'll, shunt themselves up here. Alright, so I've been AFK for for some time. I think that's going to be enough villagers. Hooray. Maybe it's not enough villagers, actually, but I don't know. At least it's a start, So we'll get one out. Off he goes. Lovely. Do you think I can use the new leads for this type of a thing? Right? Because they changed leads in a recent update. I'm not too great at keeping up to date with the new updates of Minecraft. I'm kind of bad for it, to be honest with you. But I know they changed leads considerably, so you can, like, lead things together. Okay, I forgot about that. Yep. So, in theory, what I should be able to do now is just place a boat down, like, here. Oh, no, here. No. Can I... How do I just get rid of the torches? There we go. Bolt? There we go. And then they should go into the boat Has this changed? Did they change this? I thought that they would just get in the boat. Guys, get in the boat. Can one of you please get in the boat? I really thought that would work. Did they change boat mechanics? They didn't. They didn't change boat mechanics. Okay. But now they're both in the boat, which is not what I wanted. Ugh. Okay, 2 boats. Can I leash together a boat with a boat? I still can't leash villages. Okay, that's fine. What about boats? Okay, can I leash the boats? How does this work? I don't actually know how this works. I don't know how the new mechanics work. I thought you could just, like, leash stuff. You can! Oh my god, okay, that's kind of weird. Will they move with each other now? I mean, maybe the lead will... Oh, no, 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 no! Okay, don't suffocate. Okay, but if the lead would have worked between dimensions, I would be very impressed, so I'm not really disappointed about that. I also got the lead back, which is nice. I want to put this guy in the nether. He's going to suffocate again. Or not. Okay. And then leash the boats together. Like that. And then will they move together? No, they won't move together. I wish that worked. That would be so good. Never mind. Well, we can move them one at a time. Sweet. So I just have to do that 26 more times and then we're done. And, oh wait, no, we're not even done. We need to get zombies as well. Oh, I don't think we're going to finish this today, but we've made good progress with it, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to quickly light the place up just to make sure that no zombies spawn here, because I have had that happen a couple of times. Having zombies spawn here in the future will actually be really helpful, because it means we can just have them spawn on this platform and then walk them into position. But for now, since we're just going to be storing villagers here, having zombies around is going to be really bad. So I'm going to block off most of this stuff. Let's see, will that... I mean, baby zombies can still get through that. For now, I'm just going to close that up entirely. There we go. So I got 3 villagers over here, and I could see them get the green sparkles around their heads, indicating that they had found a bed to go and lie in. And here they are, just conveniently packaged together in this first little cell. So I think I can lock these guys in here already. So in theory, all I have to do is just place down some glass and some half slabs, which will be going on top of here like this, and that should be it. They should just wake up and immediately get out into the middle of this platform, and they're stuck here. I think that's it. I don't think they can actually get out of the beds to anywhere else, but this will be a good test. So hopefully they should just get out and be in the middle of that platform. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, perfect. So I think rather than subject myself to multiple hours of boat travel, what I'm going to do is instead finish off the top platform of the build, and then we'll start doing something else for the rest of today's episode. What I'll probably do is just get the rest of this done off camera in between episode 5 and 6, and then we'll probably just get the zombies in at the start of the next episode. I'd say we've made some decent progress with that today. Obviously, we still need to get the villagers in and also get the zombies in their cells as well. And we also need to light the portals and set up the killing chamber on the other side. But once those 3 things are done, then we're kind of good to go with it, and we'll have a really good source of iron. Now, one thing I do want to do in the future is dig a big hole somewhere around here. I think I already picked where it's going to be. You can see the entrance of that hole there. And I'm going to move all my beacons down to the very bottom of the world, and we'll have a full 4 beacon setup. So what else was on the to-do list for today? I actually wanted to do a bit of exploration today. I believe east is that direction. Yeah, we haven't actually been in this direction before. So we're looking at a measly 700 silverfish down there, I think, unless that's looking at mobs that are like underneath us on the ground. It might be, I really don't know. Either way, it's a lot of fucking silverfish, so this should be quite a good jump. Let's do as we do. So we'll line up, look at the top of the arrow, and we'll go. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, please. Up, up, up. Okay. I saw that Y level at like 100 and I was a bit scared there, honestly. Oh, never mind, we're at 6,000. I forgot the coordinates hub does not update nearly fast enough to compete with the ridiculous speed of this machine. So we're probably going to have to do that again. Either way, we're going to be quite a far ways out in the eastern direction, so it's not the end of the world. I'll just get myself back down to a sensible height and we'll have a look around. So we should be nearing some terrain relatively soon. I've traveled about 10,000 blocks, which is pretty good. Yeah, here we go. So I was actually looking nearly straight down that whole time. Crazy. Yeah, so here we are. We've found a desert. Okay, it's not entirely bad. We do already have desert, but I mean, we have pretty much every biome, so can't really complain. That is a huge coral reef, though. That's massive for a coral reef. And not one, but two desert temples, so that's kind of cool. Well, if nothing else, that might be one of the coolest spawn locations I've seen for a pillager outpost. As expected, this corner of the world is kind of empty. There isn't really much going on here. I do still want to find a mushroom island, but I don't know where that's going to be. It might take us a while to find one, really, though. They're quite rare. But I didn't realize this square down here, just underneath where we've explored today, this is actually where the Wither Fortress is, or I should say the Nether Fortress that's positioned in a Soul Sand Valley. The one that we found in the Nether, I put a portal there so I could have a quick peek into the overworld, and this is where that is. Now, though, I'm just going to make my way home. I'm going to try and map out some more of the terrain down towards the south here so we can get a bit more of it explored. And if we do find something interesting on the way, then I'll be sure to let you know. I was really hoping that was something, but it's just a pole. I'll find one eventually. Well, I have now made it home, and there wasn't really anything worth showing off on the way back. However, I did find this one biome that was quite interesting. It's just one very large pale garden, probably the largest one I've found so far. There's also a mansion kind of built into it as well, which is crazy because there's no dark forest here. This is a dark forest. This is an old-growth taiga, and obviously this is the Pale Garden right here, but this mansion isn't really even attached to a dark forest. I mean, I imagine it's kind of spawned from this one, because it's the closest one to it. So what else was I going to do today? I believe we were going to go hunt some wither skeletons. Now, the end goal of hunting more wither skeletons is, of course, to get more beacons. I've already got 2 beacons in the world, one of which is over here in the end. It's such a sad sound. Oh. But yeah, I was wondering if I should leave this emerald pyramid here, because I'm probably going to bring this back here at some point in the future to keep mining more obsidian. I imagine we're going to need more obsidian for the pigman farm. And of course, the second of the 2 beacons I have is right here by the new base. And this one does need to go. Alright, so that's a full-size pyramid of iron beneath me right there. We're level minus 55 right now. I'm not really sure how I'll go about doing like the mine that surrounds this in the future. But I know I want to have like a large area to mine around Y0 and also at the very bottom of the world for finding diamonds, of course. Whoa! Oh, look at that! Oh! I haven't applied the backface glass stuff to anything other than glass, and I guess the beacon also uses glass. That's horrific. Look at that. Horrendous. I didn't even realize it. I didn't even consider that. Well, I'll fix that for the next update of Celeste, I guess. That's fair. Fair enough. Anyway, so we're going to have 2 different beacons. This one's going to be a haste 2. Of course, it's like the best one. And then we're also going to have, what do we have? Speed, resistance, jump boost, strength, and regen. I think we're going to have speed. Speed and haste are like the best ones. Yeah, lovely. Speed 2 is so good, and haste is also just fantastic. So now we just need 2 more beacons. So it looks like I've actually got 4 wither skeleton skulls already, so we only need 2 more, which is pretty great. I'm probably going to do this as we've done previously, where we just simply take them to the end and do that little cheese underneath the exit portal, because fighting withers is just awful, and I don't want to die. And I've arrived at the coal farm. The coal farm that's definitely a work in progress. You can see down here I've already flattened a huge area of the coal farm so that we can get better wither skeleton spawns, but there's still a huge portion of the fortress that's just simply not been dealt with, although there's a guy right there. So what I'm probably going to do while I'm here today is, you know, hunt the wither skeletons, of course, but also work on taking out some more of the walls so that we can get a few more spawning as well. You guys are so rude. So I've been running around a little bit here. I've made some adjustments to this little kind of like room that we have with the respawn anchor and the portal and the fire resistance potion dispenser. First of all, I've put a little bar beneath the portal here, just so that wither skeletons can't go through. I went into the overworld before and died because there were 2 wither skeletons just waiting in the portal, and they both just hit me immediately as I came through, unexpected. So that was kind of annoying. They can't get through anymore, which is nice. I've also made this a little bit safer. This was very open and very vulnerable to just like ghast fire, as you can see. So I've decided to make this quite closed off, so we have a little bit of a breathing space in this room right here. And I've also been working on taking down some more of the walls. You can see here I've removed this wall, stretching all the way around there. This fortress is massive. It's absolutely huge, and there are certain parts of it that are just not easy to access. Oh, I hate... blazes are so annoying. It's so annoying. I need like a really good supply of fire res. You see, there's so many of them. I'm gonna, yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Oh my god. Maybe fire resistance armor would actually be really helpful for this. We can look into that next episode, I think. Please just... I don't even need the rods. I just want you to stop setting me on fire. So there's certain aspects of the fortress, like up here on the roof. Wither skeletons can actually spawn up there, but I don't really have a convenient way of accessing that part of the fortress just yet. What I really should probably do is install a mod that gives an overlay of where the wither skeletons can spawn, and then we can really optimize the layout of the fortress to make sure we get the maximum wither skeleton spawns. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run around, try not to get set on fire, and try and get as many skulls as I can. Holy shit, I just stopped recording, and I didn't think I would need to start recording again so soon. But I just got a new disc. Look at this. Amos Roddy Tears. It's the new music disc that you get from reflecting a fireball back to a ghast. A ghast spawned just here, so it was a ridiculously easy fireball shot. I wish I was recording it. It would have been quite nice. But I got this. I got a new music disc, so we'll give that a listen when we get back home. Oh! No, he was wearing it. He was wearing the skull. Oh, I'm so glad I'm recording, because I can go back and look at how goofy that was now. So, 2 more beacons. I believe I remember the recipe for those. I do. Might seem bizarre given how long I've been playing Minecraft for, but I don't actually play that much survival Minecraft. I've never actually constructed a beacon like this before. The typical, you know, 2x2, every single buff maxed out in the most ideal way beacon. I've never constructed one of these, so I'm actually kind of excited to do this for the first time ever. So beacon. I must fix that Z fighting issue. That's so bad. First one, I'm going to go strength 2. Lovely. So I've got haste in this one, strength in this one, speed in this one, and this one's going to have resistance and regeneration. Look at that. 5 different buffs from the same pyramid. So that'll just about wrap it up for today's episode. We've gotten 2 more beacons, which is pretty sweet. I'll be using those a lot going forward. And we've also set up the foundations of the iron farm that I've been meaning to build since, well, like episode 2. The only goal I really have left for today is to simply go out into the void and get some more shulker shells. I've kind of lost track of which end cities I've actually visited and which directions I've even explored in. I'm going to have a look around here, see if I can find some stuff, but I am already considering just resetting the end just for the convenience of it. Alternatively, I could open up Unmined and just see which parts of the end I've actually explored already. It's not even finished loading, but this is actually quite promising. It looks like I've only really explored out in this one direction over this way to the east, and I can actually just continue looking in the east, but a little bit further south, so I think I'm going to do that today. What I'm seeing here is there's really no need to reset the end. There's still a ton of area that we could go ahead and explore for more shulker shells, including to the north, west, and south, which are just unexplored completely. From the looks of things, this should be a brand new end city that we've never stumbled across before, so it should be filled with those goofy little dudes that I need to murder for their skin, or shells, I should say. Yeah, there we go, sweet. Okay. I need more shulker shells, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sure you understand. Thank you. I mentioned it towards the start of the episode, but I wanted to bring it up one more time. A warm welcome to all the new viewers, subscribers, donators, every single person that's joined the channel in the last couple of weeks. The success I've had on the glass and dirt video is just insane. It's blowing my mind. If you subscribed to the channel in the last week or so, and you're now watching this random episode of my little survival Let's Play series here, thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying my content, and I hope you're looking forward to more Kilesti content coming very soon. But that'll wrap it up for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, take care, and bye-bye.